What is up, YouTube? I'm gonna make a quick one. I promise it'll be quick. I haven't made one well, actually, I have made some videos I haven't uploaded yet, but this one is specifically about the um, the different jobs available at UPS. I grabbed a flyer yesterday. It's in my car. Otherwise, I'd show it to you. But it talks about being a cover driver, which is when you cover for somebody else's shift. So a cover driver basically um, fills in for drivers when they're on vacation or if they're out sick or something like that. You can also drive small little routes after your shift is over, which take 2, sometimes 3 hours. So if you work as a package handler like me, and then after you've been there 6 months, you can get driver's training. Now you're trained as a driver, they have you on record as being properly and safely trained. So what that means is they expect you to know the rules of the road and know the UPS rules of driving on the road. So if they call upon you to drive, which they will do, because they do need drivers, um, you will kind of fill in and knock out 2 3 hours, and it happens 2 to 3 times a week, according to a friend of mine who does it. You will go wherever they tell you to go and drop off the packages. They'll pay you at $27 per hour, and if you're doing air freight, you get premium, which is the $39 an hour rate, which is he gets that like sometimes, so he's happy when he gets that. It'll fatten up your check because typically your checks are like 300 to 350 a week. Have bumped up to a little bit more, like 360 to 370 because I've been staying later. So I'm getting like on average $370 a week, which isn't a lot of money. But now that I'm going to be doing doubles, it's going to be like 425, 450 a week, which for me is cool because I'm doing it to pay my bills. My car is just about paid off. I only owe like 1,000 on it, so and I've been trying to pay it off with $200 a week. So I'll be paid off soon, and after that, the money that I make will be all mine, except for your basic bills, cell phone, your rent, whatever your lifestyle is. But you got to stick out the long haul. If I wanted to work a second job, I could easily do so, but I think I'm just gonna do double shifts. Is it a lot of money? No. I'm only gonna be making maybe 450 a week, but the end result is that I'm getting a ton of work experience, and I'm getting seniority boosted, and gets me that much more closer to the goal of being a package driver. Um, so they post stuff on the job board. I don't know how often, probably like once a month. So there's a bunch of jobs within the hub that they post based upon seniority. So wherever you are in the seniority list, you can bid for that position. If you don't get beat out, if somebody above you seniority wise doesn't want that job, it'll go to the next person and the next person, and then it'll get to you, and then you take that job. So there's a lot of jobs within the hub. Basically what goes on is that you see positions because you walk around and you go, hey, how did that guy get that job? What job is that? Some guys drive around the robots, like this one guy I know. He drives around the bulk cart, which is one of the robot carts. He picks up bulk from the metro area where they have the packages. They load them up. There's a guy loading up the bulk cart. When it's loaded up with all the different carts on the robot, this guy will drive that robot cart back over to the bulk area where it gets unloaded. And that's what I've been doing lately, is unloading those robot carts. And then when I take the robot cart, I pull the little thing out, I take it over to the line, I put it on the line, and then somebody loads it into the truck. So it's a big process. But if you want to drive that robot, there's training for that, and then same pay, I believe, but you get training for it. So it's a chill job, man. Those guys, they're not straining themselves physically. They're not doing anything that's like strenuous like me. So if you can stick it out for 6 months and you're at a newer hub, meaning that the hub is less than 2 years old, less than 3 years old, your seniority will go up pretty quickly, and you can start bidding for some cooler jobs, so you're not just inside of a hot trailer all the time. So yesterday I started off in a hot trailer, and I was doing that for like maybe an hour, and then I got called to go do the bulk side, which is I got more space, there's more things to do, it's more, to me it's more fun. So I went over to the bulk side, did that, and then got off at like 11 or a little after. Worked out to be about 6 hours, just under. It was like 5 hours and 40 something minutes. So I've been averaging about 6 hours a day, which is cool because 6 hours is it's better than 4 hours. And when you're on the unload side, you're only going to get about 4 hours, sometimes 4.5 hours. Unload's busy, but you're done first. You get done really quickly, so you're only going to get about 4.5 hours, which makes your check like 260 a week, 265, which was really low, especially when they're taking $25 a week for union dues, which I don't have to do anymore because I paid up the $200 initial fee for the union. Now they're only going to take out $29 once a month. So that also fattens up the check a little bit. Those $25 that they were taxing me to be part of Jimmy Hoffa's union, the Teamsters. Are you a Teamster? Yeah, I'm a Teamster. So that's all paid up. So now, and I'm working more hours. I'm working like average 6 hours a day now, but I'm going to be staying doubles, probably doing like 7 or 8 hours because I think I said I'll give the guy till 1 in the morning. So that's like, if I start at 5, then I get off at 1, that's 8 hours. If I start at 5:30 and get off at 1, it's 7.5 hours. So that's good though. And again, those are going to be more like 430, 445 a week paychecks. Not a lot of money, but again, big picture. You want to be a driver, pay your dues, then you're going to be making, those drivers make probably like 2,000 a week. Somewhere in that range, 1,700, 1,800 a week. $39 an hour, they're doing 10 hours a day, 11 hours a day sometimes, especially during the peak. Yeah, it's a couple of thousand a week. It's close to 2,000 a week. Very, very close to it. Maybe 1,700. That's a lot of money. And I don't care if you're a doctor or a lawyer, $1,700 a week is a lot of money anywhere. So last night I was doing my bulk on the PD2 side and PD3. I was doing actually PD2 and PD3. They sent us some help, which was good. I stayed till about 11, and I saw the job board, and there was a lot of jobs within the hub. Typically, there's probably like 25 to 30 jobs within the hub, and you can look on the job board and see them, and then bid on them after 6 months. You have to be there 6 months. Then you can bid on the job. Once you've been there 6 months, you can bid on just about anything. You can, I mean, technically you can bid after you've been there 3 months because you've passed your probation, but you're not going to be able to get much, very little. But if you've been there 6 months, a lot of people have left. Believe it or not, transferred out, quit. That's the two biggest things. People transfer out or they quit, or they promote to supervisor, or they promote to driver, or they promote to something, or they have taken another position within the hub, another job within the hub from where they were at. So now if you've been there at least 6 months and you bid, your seniority is good enough to where you may be considered for a position that you like. And unless somebody else wants it that bad and beats you out, then you got it. And there's tons of positions, like I said, there's between 25 and 30. Like last night I learned about, there's guys that bid for jobs just to wash the package trucks. So you are a professional truck washer, and you wash those trucks, and you get paid. I don't know if they get paid any more to do it, but that's it. You just go over there and wash trucks. Nobody's sweating you. You just wash trucks. And there's other people that drive the robots. There's supervisors. You can do that. There's other driver positions, like there's the guys outside called shifter drivers. They move the trailers around from dock door to dock door. Now those guys get trained, of course, but they also get extra training, and it's a little tricky. You got to learn it, and it's a little it is dangerous. It's a little dangerous out there. You got to really be careful. But anyways, they're talking on radios and communicating. So the shifter drivers, I think they make $25 an hour, and they typically will work 7 hours a day. I'm sure they can stay and do doubles if there's availability, but you're going to be working about 7 hours a day, $25 an hour. You're covered by the union. You have full medical, dental, and vision. Shifter driver, you moving trailers around outside, and nobody's bothering you because you're in the truck by yourself, just moving stuff around. Nobody's yelling at you, bothering you. Nobody yells at me now either, but there's nobody bothering you. You just do your job. You know your job and you do your job. So shifter driver. Then there's the big 18-wheeler rigs, the big trucks that drive state to state. That's a high paying job. Those guys get like 42 or 43 bucks an hour. You have to be a package truck driver for a certain amount of time, like so many years, and then there's got to be openings for you to bump up to the 18 wheeler driver. And once you become an 18 wheeler driver, you don't go back down to package truck driver. You stay as an 18 wheeler driver for the rest of your career. So a lot of the guys that do that know that they're going to finish out their career as an 18 wheeler truck driver, going state to state, or like say go up to Barstow or Sacramento or San Francisco or down to San Diego or Texas or wherever they go in those big rigs, and they have a unique schedule, like they're off for 4 days, then they're on for 4 days, stuff like that. But you have to be with the company for probably at least 10-12 years before you can even consider doing the 18 wheeler driver job, because you need so many years of experience as a package truck driver. So that's seniority based as well. The, uh, the probationary period as a package truck driver, the brown trucks, it's like 2 years. It may even be a little longer than that. I don't know exactly, but it's at least 2 years, because they want you to be safe. So they don't want no DUIs, no accidents off or on duty. So you got to be a good driver on and off duty. That's why the probationary period is like so long. It's like 2 years. So if you screw up and have an accident and it's deemed your fault, you're put back to whatever your job was before. So if you were a package handler, you go back to being a package handler. Um, if you were a robot cart driver, you go back to being a robot cart driver. Whatever your last bid was, you go back to that. If you have an accident in the brown package trucks, that is investigated to be your fault. So if you are investigated as a package truck driver and you've been a package truck driver for 5 or 6 years or 7 years, and it's a little minor little ting or ding or fender bender, or you bumped your mirror, you will not be sent back to the hub as whatever you were before. You will stay as a truck driver, package truck driver. The difference being is that you have passed your driver probation, and now you have a little ding or slight fender bender on the road after 6 or 7 years of being a package truck driver. It's kind of reasonable to understand that sometimes accidents happen. Even if it's your fault, maybe you'll get a write-up or a verbal warning. Maybe if there's no injuries or accident, or no injuries or no liability as far as you didn't damage another person's car, you just banged your mirror, that's about it. You'll get a slap on the wrist, like talking to, tongue lashing, counseling, verbal counseling, written counseling, I don't know. But they won't fire you because you're union. Just be safe on the road. That's the main thing. Don't cause an accident that's your fault. Be aware of your surroundings. Don't injure yourself or anybody else. Deliver your packages. That's what they want. That's what I want. That's what you want. So I guess today's video is geared more for people who want to become drivers, but also anybody in the hub. Again, if you get hired, they're gonna probably hire you as a loader or an unloader or package handler. That's 80% of what gets hired. The other percent is probably like supervisors or custodians. You can get hired as a custodian straight out the gate, a supervisor straight out the gate sometimes. Other than that, you're going to be a package handler. Package handler, package handler, package handler. Loader, unloader. That's the two big deals right there. So if you can suck it up and put up with that physical sweat labor for 6 months, then you can transfer into another area of the hub and do something that's far less strenuous and something you may even really like. I like being a package handler, honestly, but I don't want to do it forever. But so after 6 months, I'll probably transfer around. Here's another thing you got to understand. When you leave package handling and transfer to another area, your seniority starts over from that department. Because there's people that have been there longer than you that are probably waiting for certain jobs. Their seniority is going to be better than yours because you're transferring into their department, whatever department it is. Now those other departments are majorly kicked back and chill, and you can sit there for a year waiting for your driver position to pop up. You're having a good time. But understand this, if there's somebody else there waiting to drive, they're going to get that driver slot way before you do, because you just transferred over to the robot driver or the car washer guy, or there's people that are tenders, and there's just a bunch of jobs, and you have to check the job board like I did last night, and I saw it. And it's just for me to get familiar because I'm just too new. I've only been there going on, tomorrow will be 9 weeks. Tomorrow's Friday. It'll be 9 weeks tomorrow. So I'm just now ending my probation, which will end next week. which is 70 days of consistently working, which that'll be next Friday. So my probation will be done, and I'm fully union. I already paid all my union dues. Protections by the union are there. And then after 9 months, I get all my medical, dental, vision. And again, after 6 months, I can start bidding for different positions, which I will do. But right now, I'm having a good time with being an unloader. It's cool. I know it's physical, but I'm losing weight, man. So, hey, man, it's cool. All right. Try to keep it as short as I could. It's 15 minutes. All right. That's all I got to say on that. Thanks.